make a real quick copy of that.
James Austin. And then Norma on his case, Scott's case, I don't have, okay, I just have it. All right, thanks.
Do you have a copy of the motion? Judge, do you have a copy of the motion on Mr. Austin's case?
Let me see, just give me a moment.
Okay, sorry.
To modify bond conditions.
Beg your pardon, Judge. Yes, Judge.
All right, State, have you seen the motion?
But he's aware of what it, he knows what it says.
Okay. All right, court is calling NIMAC number 758035, State of Texas versus James Austin. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Rosengard for the state.
For the
Charles
defense?
Buck for Mr. Austin.
Right, and are you Mr. Austin?
I'm James Austin.
All right, let's go off the record for a moment. So this case is an injury to a child, correct?
Correct.
All right, and the children that he wishes to see are one of the children the alleged complainant?
Yes. And they're all present and the state's had an opportunity to talk to them today.
All right, and is CPS involved or no?
No,
No, Judge.
State, are you aware if CPS is involved? Did anyone check? Is there some documentation that CPS ever go out to the location? The reason why I'm asking these questions, because if CPS is involved, they will have certain conditions. Yes.
If I may, yes, there is a CPS case.
All right. So here's the thing, Mr. Austin, before you speak, because there's information that I need. I know you're saying that the CPS case, maybe it's closed or maybe there are no conditions that have been set. But what I've discovered in my previous lifetime working CPS cases, sometimes the clients think something has happened and it hasn't happened. So here's the problem with me entering any orders. And I'm not saying I'm going to grant your your attorney's motion or not, but I need to know if there are CPS orders and what those conditions are. Yes.
yes, ma'am, with all due respect.
Okay, don't ever do with all due respect, because then what follows,
I
people say,
wasn't aware of that.
Yeah,
Just trying to be
that's what
hon-
people
just-
always
just
say.
Trying to be nice about it.
no,
So,
I appreciate it.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, I spoke with the CPS lady and my wife has suffered with mental health throughout the years. I believe in the sanctity of marriage, so I didn't divorce her. The children were released to my custody. She left the children for over 30 days.
Okay, so wait a minute. Let me
But the
let me
children were given
wait.
to me
Let me stop you right there. All right. So I want everybody to be in a place of kindness, right? And to be in a place of kindness, you don't say you're only staying with somebody because you believe in the sanctity of marriage. And you don't put, for lack of better terms, their issues publicly before the court when it's not needed. This is what I need. What I need is somebody, if you know the caseworker's number or something that's going on, pick up the phone, call the caseworker, and guess what? The state and the defense can talk to the caseworker. They're going to ask for the name of the oldest child, and they will go in their system and they're going to look it up and they're going to see what the status of the case is.
Okay.
Either they're going to tell me, yes, we've closed the case and the children are supposed to be with you, or either they're going to say, you're not supposed to have contact.
That's why I was just trying, that's why I was never getting to that.
So
Children were placed with me.
let's land the plane by having somebody call the CPS worker, and then I'll take up this matter.
Okay.
Okay?
Will they let me know, the CPS people, if it's the case?
Your attorney and the state are gonna call the caseworker.
Thank you.
We're back on the record on NIMAC number 758035, State versus James Thomas Austin. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Daniel Rosengard for the state.
Charles Bunk for Mr. Austin.
All right, so, and you're Mr. Austin.
Yes, James Austin.
All right, you can lower the Bible.
Look, I even covered it up.
All right, no. The
So-
reason why I say that is this. People will come before me and sometimes they bring Bibles. Sometimes the Bibles have not been opened, they're brand new. But I don't want anyone to assume or think that because somebody brings a Bible, that it is in any way going to influence the court's ruling. I'm just here to listen to facts and listen to argument and make a decision. That is why I say that. All right. So you all had stepped back to speak with CPS worker?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So what are the results of that phone conversation?
So they're There is still technically an active case. The investigator does believe they're going to be closing it within the next month. As of right now, they have not set any conditions. They've also not spoken with Mr. Austin, but they've said the mother has been following everything, all their recommendations, but they do not have any conditions as of right now. And if for any findings or any of that, she did indicate she would need to get back to me before giving definitive answer. But yes.
All right, so this is what is slightly concerning, and this is just based on my experience from doing CPS work. So it sounds like that's probably a family-based service plan. Is that correct or no?
That was how I'm interpreting it.
All right, so it's a family-based service plan, and it sounds to me as though their conditions or non-conditions is she has the children, she is not allowing the children to be placed in danger. I don't take any of these facts as true. And so therefore, they're getting ready to close the case. What's concerning is they're getting ready to close the case and they're telling you they've had no contact with him or spoken to him. So I don't even know if they have factored in the closing of their case that he wants contact. So did anybody ask them about their concerns, or maybe they don't have concerns with him having contact?
So just from my understanding, they mentioned that I believe I'm not sure if he actually lives in San Antonio, or if he's back and forth between somewhere else. So from my interpretation, that if he was not in the state or in a different state, those concerns didn't seem to be.
All right, so this is what I'm gonna do with regards to your motion. I'm gonna set this motion for a hearing, and if you all can have the CPS workers zoom in, usually they're good about zooming in, and these questions can be answered. Because
Okay.
I don't wanna do something that causes confusion or violates orders or thoughts that they may have. So,
While I have the complainant present, does the court want to address her while she's here to avoid? I mean,
her
just
coming
to,
back, sure,
if the court has any questions for her, she is present. If the court wanted to address, if the court wanted to inquire, I'm not suggesting the court what the court should do, but
okay.
if the court wanted to inquire, she is present today.
Well, we can go off the record. If she is present and she wants me to inquire again, this is from my experience in CPS cases. If CPS has an understanding about her allowing or not allowing contact, and that's the whole basis for them getting ready to close that family-based service case, and she comes to testify, I don't have any issues and I want him to, that may affect or impact the closure of that case. So with that being said, if she still wants to come forward, she can. But I mean, a family-based services case, depending on the actions of the parties, can quickly turn into a legal case.
Understood.
So it's completely, do you want to talk to her, Mr. Bunk, and see,
I will.
and let her know what the possible impact could be? All
I
right.
had a quick question. Is it okay?
Oh, you probably want to speak with her.
It's
Yes.
not like that. Is it okay?
Sure.
Yeah, I live in Florida, so
Okay.
the transmute out here is really, really tough with these
Just
places.
ask Mr. Bunk, you can appear by Zoom.
That's what I was going to.
Yes, just ask him.
Oh.
Yes,
Thank you. very much.
sure. You're welcome. All right, who's here on Umberto Lara? All right, and where is your client?
Present in the back of the courtroom. Would you like him to approach?
Yes.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. Just 1 minute. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. So we're here on a motion to modify bond conditions. State, are you ready to proceed on the motion?
Yeah.
All right, court is calling NYMAC number 749226, State of Texas versus Umberto Lira. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state defense?
Kim Gonzalez for defense.
And are you Mr. Lira? All right, defense has filed a motion to modify defendant's condition of bond. And are you requesting tracking only?
We were requesting tracking only, Judge. He has not been allowed to work. The state is in agreement to allowing partial from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. We were requesting tracking only, but if the court sees that, at this particular point in time, tracking from those hours is appropriate, then we're fine with that. We just need to give him an opportunity to get back to work and earning some money.
State?
That we are opposed to the modifications to rate only. We are in agreement to give them a little bit more time for this student money.
All right. So of course, I know what a mobile mechanic is, but if you want to call your client as a witness to explain why the hours that the state maybe is not, is only given him is not sufficient. Otherwise, it will be work for a specific time frame.
Judge, I'll call him briefly.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up because the court reporter has to hear and I have to hear. If you'll state your name for the record. I'm sorry, what? Thank you. You may proceed.
Mr. Little, will you please tell the court how you're employed?
Mobile mechanic
And can you tell the court a little bit about how you get your jobs?
by recommendations.
Okay. And so when people call you, are you available? Do you try to make yourself available to them all hours of the day, or do you have a set time schedule?
No, whenever they call, and sometimes they come in at night.
Okay. And so are you just at the mercy of whenever people call you for work? Now, you're asking to be available after 8 PM or to be placed on tracking only, should you have people call for business, but if the judge is able to allow you to work from 7 to 8, is that still helpful for you to
Yeah.
get business and be able to pay your bills? And also, you have a daughter in school that you have full custody of?
Yes.
Okay, and so you've been paying somebody to take her to school in the morning? Okay, so if you're allowed to travel from, before 7 AM, let's say, you'll be able to take her to school yourself? That's all I have, Judge.
Any questions? All right, so I have a few questions, if there are no objections. So with regards to your business, when someone calls you and you go out, how are you paid? So here's the issue the court is having. I would be fine with him tracking for his work outside of hours, but there needs to be some sort of documentation that he's actually at work. I know usually sometimes people will sell, understand sometimes people pay cash, but then there's no verification that he's at work. So that's my issue.
I'm sure we could put together some sort of receipt, Judge, for hours billed or something like that, if the court's requesting documentation while he's performing hours if he's out.
All right, and state, with regards to him being on tracking only for employment, what is your concern?
Concern is that he deviates from his working hours for his business to go elsewhere, or that a stumble upon as he's out and start it, new offense or violate no confidence. It's also taking into account safety.
All right, so the court would not be able to see documentation that verifies that you are actually working at a specific location, just doing a cash business, which I understand sometimes when businesses are brand new, they do cash, but there's no verification. If there were some other link or square or something of that nature, then the court will be better able to say, oh, he was at his place of employment, with person A, B, and C. But with cash, that's not possible.
I could give a receipt.
No. So what I'm going to do is I understand people, their cars don't break down between just 7 AM to 8 PM. But this is where we are until you change how you receive payment, then this is what the court is going to order. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to modify conditions to include partial GPS. And what I will do is 7 AM to 8 PM, that can be a curfew. Do you have any objections to that just being his curfew so that he can take his child to school or? Okay. And is this just Monday through Friday or Monday through Sunday? Well, all right. So your curfew Monday through Friday is 7 AM to 8 PM. And what is happening on weekends?
I mean, obviously, Judge, we would respectfully request that he be allowed to work on the weekends as well. I understand your concerns. Maybe if we give him an hour range of what the court deems appropriate during the day.
I think we should probably wait and see if this is successful, and in the event there are clients that actually need the services on the weekends.
So state, you are stating that you do not want him to be out of the home on Saturdays and Sundays? Well, with the partial GPS Monday through Friday, my understanding of your request is that he's just to have a curfew, which is 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Am I wrong? All right. Wrong, correct, or correct, correct? Okay. So then this is what the court is going to order. There's going to be partial GPS. You will have a curfew. So for Mondays through Fridays, you can be outside the home from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And that 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., you can go to the store, take your daughter wherever she needs to go. So it's just not for work. That is just your curfew. And if you work between those hours, great. But it's from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Do you understand? All right. And then I'm assuming there's already a no contact order with the complainant. And if anyone has an address or anything they wish to add to the order or some location he's not allowed to be, then you all can add that to the order. So I'll hand the order to you all so you can put the information in about the complainant's name and any locations he's not allowed to appear at. All right, is there anything else?
No, Judge.
All right,
Thank you.
with that, you will be excused and your next court date will be whenever you're indicted or if your attorney decides to have a request for you to come to court. All right, thank you. And counsel, you may want to make sure that you contact pretrial services because sometimes with regards to the GPS, sometimes there's some issues when you just do a curfew. So I don't know who his pretrial services officer is, but you may want to contact them.
Okay, Judge. I'll do-
Marcus Trammell,
Morning, Judge.
good morning. Hello. I saw him outside before I came in. I was telling him his shoes are fabulous.
Yeah, I told him the same.
All right. So first things first, before we get to your motion, where are we on discovery?
To my knowledge, we have all the discovery that the state has.
All right, and then we have a motion, let me see. All right, we have a motion for removal of GPS. State, are you going to object to that?
Yes.
All right, we'll go on the record. Court is calling 2024 CR 008165, State versus Marcus Trammell. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state defense?
Charles Bunk for Mr. Trammell. Trammell, excuse me.
See, I was right. Are you Mr. Trammell?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're here. The defense has filed a motion to remove the GPS. State, is the court's understanding you're objecting to removal?
That's correct.
All right, and why is that?
Judge, I just became aware of that actually just right now.
Okay.
But we are opposed to considering the charges that presented in this case of terrorist threat and the safety of the community. I believe that GPS is appropriate in this case with the facts that are surrounding the case.
All right, defense?
For the purpose of the hearing, may I call my client?
Yes. If you can raise your right hand, do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Marcus Trammell.
All right, defense?
And Mr. Trammell, how long have you had the monitor on
Since after the Super Bowl.
of this year? So
Yes,
basically February of,
February of 2024.
so that's about 7 months,
Yes,
correct?
sir.
And you had an attorney before I became your attorney, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And then when I became your attorney, it was probably about 2.5 months ago. You still, at that point, even though your case was from January, you still had not been indicted, is that correct?
Correct.
And then you were recently indicted August the 8th as a result of our filing a motion for an examining trial. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, that you've heard the state say that their concern is for the safety of the community, et cetera. While you've been on the monitor, my review of your records are you've had no violations of the monitor. Am I correct in my review?
I believe so, sir.
Okay. And you understand that if the judge was to remove the monitor, one of the conditions she can set, of course, is you have no contact or you go nowhere within 1,000 feet of the employer that's charged you with this offense or that property. Is that you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You understand that if you were to be found to have violated that, she can revoke your bond and place you in custody until we have our trial.
Sir.
Are you still asking that the judge considers this motion?
Yes.
Can you describe briefly for the judge some of the hardships caused to you by the monitor?
I'm a disabled veteran, 20 years retired. I'm used to being able to have my freedom, be able to enjoy just getting out and about, dressing up. I do not feel like a human. I don't feel like I am being seen. I don't think I'm being heard. All I did was report ethical violations against me. I'm talking about the effect of the monitor. It has mentally destroyed me. I have
So
given
let me ask you
20
this.
years to this country.
Well, just 1 second. Here's my question. What type of GPS is he on? Is it full
What were the
GPS?
conditions?
I don't know. I've never been told what my restrictions were.
All right, so this is what the court needs to understand. And if somebody, I'm gonna have you guys step back.
Yes, Judge.
If somebody can tell the court, is he on full GP? Okay, so here's the thing, Mr. Trammell. Before I make rulings, I love having information. But I will tell you, if you are being upset, not letting your attorneys ask questions and interrupting, that's not a good look for what you're charged with, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So I need more information. I don't know if he's on full GPS, partial GPS. I don't know any of that. So if y'all will discover that and bring
I
it
will
back
get-
to me,
Yes,
and then we will continue with the hearing.
Yes, Judge.
Okay?
yes, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Trammell? Sure. We're back on the record in 2024 CR 008-165 State versus Marcus Trammell. All right, so the court has received a report that he is currently on tracking only. And that was modified to tracking only on March 18th, 2024.
That is correct.
All right, so what are the issues
Well,
with tracking?
What
only?
well, the issue was, he had made me aware of some physical issues, some medical issues, if you will, and that's what
I'm sorry, just
of
one
course, of
moment.
course.
All right, yes.
So what I was, he has voiced to me, he's had some medical issues that has caused him multiple times to have to switch it from one leg to another because it's, and that's what I was trying to address with him, the troubles he's had with it. You know, as far, that's his biggest issue is his health.
Mhm.
It's, without going into graphic health details in a public forum, he's had some medical issues
All right, so do you
related to
have documentation of the medical issues?
other than my client's statement, no, Judge.
All right, has anything been given to the state? Are you aware of medical issues with regards to the GPS? All right, so, Mr. Trammell, I just deal in fact, right? So if you have medical documentation about the GPS, present it to the court, and I will strongly consider removal of the GPS. But I need those documentations.
Yes, Judge. Okay.
So, and your attorney can bring you back on any date. If your attorney wants to come back on Monday, they can come back on Monday with the medical documentation. And I'll strongly consider removal of the GPS. All right. And then state at that.
Circle back to his setting before we're excused, can we circle back to his
Yes,
setting? Okay, thank
yes,
you.
we will.
Thank you.
So then in state, I don't know any facts of this case or what's being alleged. So that would help me with regards to whether or not removal is appropriate. Okay,
Yes, Judge.
all right, so setting. When would you like this to come back for a hearing on the GPS matter?
Judge, I don't have an exact date. We'll have to see how quickly we can get the records. So
All right, so this is what I'll do. I'll set you for a final discovery date in 30 days.
yes, Judge.
And then if you have the records before then, you can always come back in.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson, if you'll put this for November 12th.
Judge,
Are you-
I come back on the 13th.
All
So
right.
can we just move it a couple of days after
Yes,
that?
put it on November 14th. All right, is there anything else?
Nothing else from the defense, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Oh, thank you, you're excused. Thank you. And thank you for dressing appropriately for court. You always do, though. Morning. And Maverick County, if you could unmute, please, and start video.
We're ready.
Hello, thank you so much, Maverick County.
Thank you.
All right, can I see the file on Samantha Lopez?
Yes, that's me, Your Honor.
All right, just one moment. I'm grabbing your file, okay?
No, ma'am. It's case number is 2022 CR 4501. She's remand without bond. I don't know if that would be in the back
Give me the case number again.
Judge number 2022,
Mhm.
CR 4501, Your Honor.
And are you seeking to have a bond?
Yes, Your Honor, she's remanded without bond.
Okay.
She obtained a while back.
All right, state, could I see someone on this case? It's a family violence case.
No, it's just set a bond because she remanded without bond. I believe last time it was 10,000, Judge.
All right, we're going to go on the record. Could everyone please whisper? Court is calling 2022 CR 4501, State of Texas versus Samantha Lee Lopez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state defense?
Amir Memori, Your Honor.
And are you Samantha Lopez? Miss in Maverick County?
Yes,
Are
I
you
am.
Samantha Lopez? All right, the defendant is appearing by Zoom. Any objections from the
Yes, I-
state? Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Ah, she's frozen. Okay. All right. So we are here, counsel, you're requesting, do you all have the phone? Thank you. Counsel, you're requesting a bond be set?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So why was she remanded without bond?
Judge, I believe I was retained on this case earlier this week. My understanding is she failed to appear for her prior hearings, Judge. I don't know if it was a trial setting or a sentencing, but she failed to appear.
All right. You want to call your client to find out why she wasn't present in court?
Sure, Judge.
All right, Ms. Lopez, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record, please. Thank you.
Samantha Lee Lopez.
All right, defense.
Ms. Lopez, my name is Amir Memori. We haven't met, but I was retained by your family to represent you. We're here today to set bond because you remanded that bond. You were set, Judge, when was she set here last time?
June 6th,
June 6th of 2024.
4.
Can you tell the court why you failed to appear, ma'am?
Oh, I'm sorry, not, let me correct that. It was June 6th, 2022.
2022, yes.
Yes.
Um,
Can you tell the court why you failed to appear on that date, ma'am?
I was not aware that I had a court date because I was not following along with anything that I needed to take care of.
Okay, I don't understand that last statement. You said because you were not following through with what?
With any of the things that I was supposed to, I wasn't talking with my lawyer. I wasn't checking in with the courtroom. I wasn't doing any of that.
I think, Judge, she takes responsibility for that. So I think
Yes.
last time the bond was set at 10,000.
Oh, just 1 second.
Sure.
State, do you have any questions?
Yeah, so why are you at the Maverick County Jail?
Why are you at Maverick County Jail?
I went to into Mexico for a dentist appointment, and when I was crossing the border back, they ran my name at the border and I came up with 2 warrants. One is for DWI and one is for assault.
If I may, Judge, County Court 6 has set her bond at $5,000. That's a DWI case.
All right. Any other questions?
No questions.
All right. All right. Do you have a place to stay? If you're released, do you have a place that you can live?
What was that?
When you,
Oh,
if
yes,
you
ma'am.
are
I have my own
released-
home.
All right. You have your own home?
Yes, ma'am.
Who is in the home with you? Any minors?
No, ma'am, it's just me.
Do you have any children?
No, ma'am.
Any drug or prior drug use?
No, ma'am.
Any prior mental health issues? Any prior
I
mental health
have when I
issues?
when I was younger, ma'am, but not recently, not in a lot of years.
All right. And what was your prior mental health issue?
I was suicidal and I had anger issues.
All right. Are you currently under any type of a doctor's care for mental
ma'am.
health issues?
No,
Since you've been in custody in Maverick County, have you experienced any mental health issues or have you been given any type of mental health medications?
no, ma'am, I have not had any issues.
All right. Anything else from either side?
Absolutely, Judge. Judge, on the 10,000, I'm not sure. I think that was what the amount is, but I'll leave that to the court's discretion to confirm that, please. I want to make sure that that was my understanding, but I may be wrong.
All right, Ms. Lopez, are you able to afford a $10,000 bond?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the previous bond was actually 20,000.
20,000. Okay, Judge. I'm sorry.
All right, that's fine. I mean, both parties have agreed to 10,000. So the court will set your bond at $10,000. There's be no contact with the complainant or the complainant's residence or place of employment.
Okay, yes, ma'am, that's fine with me. I haven't spoken to her in a few months.
All right, and then this is going to be set for hearing in this court. Defense, have you received all of the discovery?
Judge, I have, yes.
State, were you able to tender an offer or no? All right, so this is going to be set for October 28th. Is that a good date for you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, it's going to be set for October 28th for a plea deadline date. Of course, if your client is still in custody, the court will reconsider.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, is there anything else?
Judge, we greatly appreciate the court's time and effort.
In Maverick County?
Yes, and getting this together in Maverick County also, Judge.
All right, thank
Thank
you. So your next court date is October 28th. You need to make sure that you're here in court. It's at 9 a.m. You understand?
Yes, ma'am, I will be there.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Maverick County.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Oh, do you want to take that to the back or the clerk?
Oh, I'm gonna hand it to them.
Okay.
And if you want a copy of it, that's remaining, they'll give you a copy.
I would, Judge, please.
Sure. There you are.
Can I make a copy in the back? Okay, let me go to another court. I'll be back.
All right, Lindsay Hernandez. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 6058, State versus Lindsay Hernandez. Can I have parties announced for the record, for the state, for the defense?
Rene Munoz.
All right, and are you Ms. Hernandez? All right, the bondsman had filed an affidavit to surrender surety. The court signed it. And I believe one of the reasons they requested it because they believe that Ms. Hernandez would not show up for court. She did not show up on October 1st, but she did show up on, well, appear on October 2nd. And then, of course, she appeared today. She was a little late, but the court is understanding of that because yesterday we talked about her tardiness and where she was coming from.
Yes, Your Honor. I appreciate that.
All right, so defense is requesting a PR bond. Off the record, we had a discussion with regards to your client's mental health issues. State, do you have any objection to the granting of a PR bond?
No, it's just a question that additional conditions be imposed.
I'm sorry?
Additional conditions be imposed of any type of substance abuse or mental issues to be addressed with that PR bond.
All right, so the court will set your PR bond at $1,000, waive fees, and there's going to be a referral to Center for Healthcare Services. And counsel, your client was here yesterday,
Yes, Your Honor.
and there were what appeared to the court to be substance abuse issues as well.
Yes, Your Honor.
So what I'm going to order is I'm going to order regular UAs, waive fees, and I'm going to order outpatient treatment
Yes, Your Honor.
for substance abuse. And I'm going to waive fees. And Ms. Hernandez, do you have a place to live?
I don't know.
All right, so what housing would be available for her? I know Lifetime has just started a women's unit, but I don't think it's officially up and running, but I received an email for them saying that they were expanding.
Okay.
Probation, do you know any housing that will be able to address her substance abuse issues? I know there's Alpha House. but-
Yes, I was gonna
Mental.
suggest that.
So Alpha? Okay,
I also know that Sam Ministries does good things for people that need housing in terms of homelessness. They are able to sometimes provide people the avenue for apartments, things of that nature, transitional living to get them set up on their feet. And also Haven for Hope Joe Outreach, Judge, I don't mind getting in contact with them just to explore these avenues. But the biggest thing, Judge, is I know that she has that appointment here with Mental Health Court, that they can put her into contact, make sure she gets in contact with Center for Healthcare Services. And then they have caseworkers there within Mental Health Court, Judge, that have good access to resources too. So I'm strongly encouraging her to make that. I don't know if it could be made as a condition for bond too, that she shall make that appointment next week.
I'll put in a referral to mental health court.
And I have that application, Judge. Speaking of that, if the court could sign, I have that from the
Yes.
caseworker.
And then if you'll speak with Ms. Abrams,
Yes, Judge.
and she'll give the location and the name of the facility that can help her with housing. So I'm gonna do a referral for housing, and I'll just put referral for housing
Yes, sir.
and a referral to mental health court.
Great. Thank you, Your Honor, so much. Appreciate that.
And if you'll give that to the coordinator.
Yes,
And
sir.
then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reset this. I'm gonna give it an earlier reset date than I normally would, because I think I need to stay updated with her.
Sure, of course, Your
So
Honor.
we're gonna come back, oh, and state your excuse. We're gonna come back on October, Norma, can you put this October 21st? All right, we'll be back on October 21st.
Thank you, Your Honor, and we will definitely keep the court updated. We appreciate it.
All right, and you do look better than you did yesterday. All right,
Moving in the right direction, yes.
all right, thank you. Who's here on Tiffany Martinez?
Good morning.
Good morning, how's it going?
Okay.
All right, on this case, where are we on discovery?
This is the first setting. It's been over a year since she was arrested.
Okay,
We are just trying to get discovery. We'd asked for another discovery setting so we can get that. There's supposed to be video and several other things that we need to gather before we can do anything.
all right, state, do you know if all of the discovery is uploaded or is there questions?
I believe if they did their job, it should be uploaded for the package, so I'd have to say, well, yes.
Okay.
There's
right.
a second issue too,
What's the
before we
second
go
issue?
too farther. She's been on ELM for over a year, Judge. We filed a motion to remove the ELM.
Okay, we're gonna take that up. Let me
Okay.
get this and then we'll move in order. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back on November 7th for discovery. So if there's something that's missing or you all think that is missing, needs to be addressed. Now state, with regards to the defense's motion to removal of ELM, do you have objections?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we'll go on the record. Court is calling 2024 CR 00823A, State versus Tiffany Martinez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? All right, defense has filed a motion for removal of GPS. State, you have objections?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what are your objections?
And also.
All right, and what type of GPS is she on? Is she on full GPS, partial GPS?
She is on just the monitor, Judge.
All right, so tracking only?
Yes.
All right, and
But-
so,
But listen, she's been on for over a year.
Mhm.
She has had no violations. She has no history, nothing in her background to suggest there's any problem. There's been no communication or anything with the victim on the case, and no violations of that in any way. Because of the monitor, it's been hard for her to get work, hard for her to be able to get a job. And she can address that if you want to hear more about her finding a job.
yes. All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Martinez.
All right, so what is your issue with the GPS?
So I was a dental assistant, and they took away my license because of the case. I can't be seen with the ankle monitor in the health career setting. They think it's just not a good setting to be in.
So does PANS address that issue?
My scrubs, it bulks out so big, like it just doesn't cover. We have like, the Grey's Anatomy scrunch ones, and that's what the company offers us to wear. So it wasn't acceptable. Also, with the State Board of Dental Assistant, since it's on the record, I can't renew my license for that.
Since
So-
what is on your record? Is it
Well,
the,
it's this case, it's like showing pending, I guess. So with this being on there in the house arrest, I'm not able to work anywhere because of that.
well, no, I'm sorry to keep up interrupting you, but are you not allowed to work in your chosen profession because of the charge or because of the GPS?
Oh, because they let me go because of my ankle monitor. But if I wanted to renew my license, with any other dental offices, because I have tried to get another job with the dental, but because of the pending, it won't allow. But my current, Resa's Dental, which is where I was working at, they let me go because of the ankle monitor. They said I can go back if it was removed. So I haven't really been able to find any work. Bond is paid. I was getting like little jobs, but I was working at a daiquiri place, and then the company just like sold out, or they just went out of business. So it's been hard since then. Dental office did say I can go back if the ankle monitor is removed, and I can finish with my position there as a dental assistant.
Okay. All right, so here's my next question. Is there any letter or anything from that facility that's saying that they will allow her to work there if she doesn't have the ankle monitor?
I can get that for you if you need. But it was my doctor that told me that. My doctor, both doctors that I worked with, they did state that to me and the manager.
Any other questions?
Nothing else, Judge.
Any questions?
No, you are.
All right, so I want to see that documentation that they're saying that they would allow her to work there if she didn't have the ankle monitor on, because this seems to be the crux of the situation before the court is she wants to work there. They're not allowing her to work because she has an ankle monitor. And then state, if the court were to grant this when we come back, I would want the complainant to be informed if the court were to remove the ELM.
I believe there's no contact with the complainant already and there hadn't been any problems.
Okay.
No violations on ELM.
Okay.
There's really nothing else in her background that
Okay.
suggests she needs this.
So as soon as I receive that documentation, or if they want to zoom in, they can zoom in today. But as soon as I receive that documentation, we can put this back on the docket for hearing at any time you have that, counsel. Anytime except for Friday, because Friday is drug court graduation and that's where I'll be.
Okay.
Can I say something?
Sure.
So it's also been a problem for any other jobs that I've tried to apply at. They see the monitor and they don't want to hire me.
Okay.
So it's not just the dental office, but it's other employments that I've tried and I have proof of, like, Indeed and stuff, that they see my ankle monitor and they say.
All right. So again, with other employers seeing your ankle monitor pants. Right now, what you've informed me of is that you have a job as a dental assistant, and that employer is saying they won't let you work with an ankle monitor. So I want that information.
So I'm not currently employed with the dental office. It's been a year. They let me go a year ago.
All right,
But
so
to
no,
go back.
yeah, so I need that documentation. So does everyone understand what the court is asking for?
Yes, sure.
Okay, all right, so we'll come back on November 7th for discovery, but counsel, you can set the other matter anytime before then. All right, thank you.
Wait for me, I'm not-
Virginia Bella Torres, and is there an application in this case?
There is not, Your Honor.
Court is calling 2023 CR 0290, State of Texas versus Virginia Bella Torres. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Your Honor, I apologize for over speaking, Judge. Frankie Sandoval on behalf of Ms. Vela Torres.
And are you Ms. Torres? Counsel, have you received all of the discovery?
We have, Your Honor.
And did you review that with your client?
Yes, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Judge.
All right, Ms. Torres, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of theft from a person as a state jail felony? Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? Off the record. Everyone, y'all need to whisper. Oh, and you all can move down to that end. The deputies will move you down there. All right, we're back on the record. Did you understand if you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea? If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights? Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
In my opinion, she does, Judge.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Bella Torres, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 16 months in the state jail facility. There are no applications. This is run concurrent with County Court Cause number 7000040, 7000039. There's to be restitution, if any, to Kimberly Inaosa and Cash America Pond for $200. And there's to be restitution payable in County Court Cause number 7000040, 7000039. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea? Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Judge.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence? After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Your Honor, given Ms. Valatorez's lack of criminal history, in the interest of justice, the court will consider a pre-sentence investigation given the wide range that's available to the court in deciding her punishment.
All right, if you're requesting a PSI, I will give you a PSI. The court doesn't need one. If you want to present information to me, or if you want to have witnesses come and testify on her behalf. The reason why I say that is because if we set this for a PSI, Bashan, what's the earliest we can do a PSI?
6 weeks, Judge.
So it'll be 6 weeks?
If I may have a moment with Ms. Valatorez?
Sure.
Your Honor, on behalf of Ms. Valatorez, with the court's indulgence, Ms. Valatorez would like to explain to you why she's accepting responsibility and would be asking for a lower range on the range of punishment.
All right, are you waiving the PSI?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Ms. Valatorez, you're entitled to a PSI if you want a PSI. Do you understand? And so what would end up happening is at that PSI, a probation officer would come to view you, even though you're not applying for probation, they would interview you. And I would receive information about you, your criminal history, if you have any, and any other background that you give to them. And also, you will be allowed to call any witnesses that you may wish to call at that time if you have witnesses. So do you wish to, we can reset this for a PSI, which will be in 6 weeks, or either I can give you a shorter reset date if you're attorney and you are waiving PSI, and that will give you a chance to have witnesses present to testify on your behalf if you want witnesses. I'm sorry?
We can waive it.
All right, so you want to waive the PSI? Let me do this. Let me have you discuss it. We're off the record. Let me have you discuss it with your attorney. So here are your options. If you want a PSI, I will set it for PSI. It's going to be set in 6 weeks because that's the earliest they have available for somebody to interview you. If you don't want a PSI, but you want witnesses to come and speak on your behalf, which you can, then we can reset it for a shorter time. And your attorney can tell me what would be a good date for you to come back with witnesses. All right. So those are things you can consider, and I'll let you speak to your attorney and then y'all can approach. James, Austin, are y'all ready for Austin?
Yes, Judge.
All right. So do y'all have information?
He spoke to CPS.
All right. We'll go back on the record.